Hey, yo. Every single time we do this, Dubs is literally just arriving in his chair. It's fascinating and amazing, and I love it because we
I
are
sit
like
down at the 1 second, like the 3, 2, 1. I get
this is
there
what
as
happens
it
though.
starts.
Like we talk like usually tonight was an exception, but usually we're on like 10 minutes before showtime,
Yeah.
like making sure that we're on the same page about stuff. And then it's like, all right, I gotta use the bathroom, get some water, and put on the countdown, and here we go, baby. Let's get it done. Let's right at the 1 second mark.
Every time it's consistent. I'm sure you can hear my door close in my chair every time.
No door closed, no chair. We do have the music on. Tank and Jeremy are busy guys, which is why we were delayed getting our music, but we have music coming. Some new branding coming, of course, with Great North. Still trying to work out all the rest of that. Have to finish rebranding the newsletter, which is still under Ocho, but it is Great North, which is why Dubs did a beautiful recap piece. Beautifully done. If you want to see more of those, let us know, because we're all about that.
May have wrote that post Monday Night Football in a bit of rough shape, but I woke up in the morning and opened my notes app for something at work, and I saw that I was like, oh my God, that's right. I was writing last night.
We still have regular Friday newsletter coming out with your weekend wagers and all your goodies. That'll be a Friday, as per usual.
Piece for me in there. Who knows?
There could be. Depends on if the mood strikes. I am Armchair Commentary, aka David Smith. That's Dubs, aka Dubs. He's from Stone Sports Podcast. Also see him on Twitch.
Stone Stories.
Lots to talk about.
Yes, sir.
All sorts of goodies.
30 was supposed to be back last week, but we had technical issues.
That's all right. But it's coming.
Yes, sir.
It's coming. It was a busy week. But you had adventures coming home.
I did have an adventure on my way home. So
we got to talk about that.
I don't know. I still don't really know 100% what happened. I'm hoping I get to work tomorrow and somebody else has more clarity on it. But I was leaving, and my job is right off of the highway. There's like a big, get off the highway. There's a big, like 4-lane, 2 lanes each side. There's a gas station right there. So I'm coming down to pull out onto that main road. I'm trying to go left. There's a car behind me, and it's like an industrial park area. So there's just like trucks on either side all the time, like 18-wheelers pulled over so they can go to the gas station and shit. There's a car behind me. I'm chilling. I'm waiting to take my left, looking both ways, taking my sweet time. All of a sudden, I see the car behind me like go in reverse. And I was like, is this guy like turning around right now? Like
on the highway?
No, behind me. Like he was going to be pulling out behind me, but he got, I don't know what was going on. He threw the car in reverse. All of a sudden I realized that like everyone's getting out of the cars and shit. I'm like, he hit a guy on a bike. There's a guy on a bike behind him. I don't know if the dude on the bike drove into the back of the car and fell over, or if this guy actually did just throw it in reverse, not knowing there was somebody behind him. Because I don't know if he backed the car up to like get off the road after he drove into him.
Right. How'd it happen?
I have no idea, but there's a truck driver right there that saw the whole thing. I got out of there because I was like, the guy clearly wasn't dead. He wasn't super injured. I was like, I don't need to be here. There's enough people here. I need to get home. Yeah. I wasn't going to turn around and then pull up and be like, what happened here? I didn't see. The only thing I saw was the car behind me go in reverse. And I was
not a super spicy take. Boston's the worst city in the world to drive in. It's the worst. Every direction is like, all right, now turn left here. And it's like, and it's like some like half turn, like one lane that was like
they also show all of the alleyways on the GPS.
Yes.
So that will also fuck you up where you're like, oh, is this my left? Nope, that's an alley.
Take an Uber. Take an Uber.
We were just driving in Boston. I went to the Red Sox game last Monday, and we were driving in Boston. It was designed for horses. It was a city that the roads were made for horses and carriages, not cyber trucks and
last time I was
Vans.
there. You were. We unfortunately didn't get to link up last time I was in town, but we will next time.
Yes, sir.
I was staying in Jamaica Plain. It was a beautiful Airbnb. It was great, and I got to be honest with you, like we drove to Foxborough
Right by the zoo.
We drove to Foxborough because I'm not playing that game. They were playing the Bills and I wanted to be ready to leave early. I knew I was going to leave early because the Bills were real good last year and we had Mac Jones still. So
tough game.
It was a rough game. People were intoxicated behind me.
I will be at Gillette in a couple weeks for the Texans game.
We're going to get blown the fuck out.
Probably.
We'll play tight.
Boston's the worst city in the world to drive in. Thank God I don't have to do it. I always said if I worked out there, like my lifespan would be cut down by like 30 years. My heart
MVT says pulling up their phones, but not to call 911.
Yeah, 100%.
But this shit's going on TikTok.
Yeah, something's going on right now. I also got word from other people that were like, "Yeah, he was there for a while."
just hollering at you. Just yelling at another thing.
There's a kid I work with that rides a bike to work too. I thought it was him for a second. And I was like, I asked one of the guys. I was like, "Was it a kid?" He's like, "No, he's old." I was like, "All right, I'm getting out of here." Then I don't have any investment in that guy.
It's good for me. We had a couple of games this past weekend that we're going to dive into, deeper dive, some football talk. I wanted to talk very quickly about little hockey news. So Sidney Crosby re-signed. Your goalie still has not re-signed.
But I thought it was a done deal, WEI. However, could you deceive me?
Sidney Crosby signed a 2-year contract with an extension for 26 and 27. Carries a shocking AAV of 8.7 million because the guy is superstitious. 87 for 87. And most of the contract is actually in signing bonus, so his cap hit is actually fairly low. But I was telling you before,
like 4.5.
It's like $1 million. It's like $1 million.
Okay, I thought.
His cap hit's like $1 million. Is like an $8 million signing bonus.
That's absurd.
That's a guy that wants to win. That's a guy that wants to win, is what that is. He's like, look, I want another one. Give me one more. I'll give you the money. Just get it done.
Get me something.
My favorite Sidney Crosby story ever is that we'll get to the TJ Oshie in a second. We'll do that. Is that he still knocks on season ticket holders' doors to deliver the season tickets. That's what he does. He goes in and he will do the like, oh, you bought season tickets? Imagine opening your door and you're a Pens fan and it's like, now you're Sidney Crosby delivering your tickets. Nobody does that.
It's like Mariah Carey going Christmas caroling.
It is. TJ Oshie placed on long-term IR. MVT says time to retire. Maybe.
Yeah, he's done enough.
So I think that he is in the Shea Weber, Carey Price area where you're not going to retire, but you're never going to play again. And Shea Weber is still technically on a roster. I think it's the Coyotes. Might be the Golden Knights, one of those teams. I think it's the Coyotes.
I was going to say
what Utah, I guess, but he got traded there so that they can use the LTIR money. You got to use the LTIR money. It's free space. It also gets you to the salary floor if you needed to do that. Carey Price is still not on LTIR. I think they're going to put him on LTIR this year. He's never going to play again. I've heard.
You're right. It is Utah.
Yeah, I've heard several conversations with Carey Price saying, I can't do it. Every time I think I can do it, I get back in there and then my knees start to hurt a bit. And I'm like, I can't do it. He did enough. He didn't. I mean, I wish the Habs could have got him a cup, but like, you did enough. TJ Oshie, you did enough. You got your ring, man. Time for you to go to the press box and enjoy that
Olympic hero,
time.
TJ Oshie.
Does TJ Oshie have one of those shootout goal sellies that we loved? Was it TJ Oshie that did the Statue of Liberty? Who was it that did that? I don't remember. Anyway,
I don't remember either.
It's all good. Your goalie's still not signed.
No, I don't know why. It's September 18th, and we don't have a goalie. Everyone got to camp, and they're like, hey, where's Swayman? Oh, we bungled it.
Whose fault is that?
I think it's
GM?
the organization's, yeah. Sweeney.
It's on Sweeney.
Give him what he wants. You fucked this up. If you still had Olmark on the team, it's a whole different situation. But as soon as you traded Olmark, you opened the door for this to happen. Of course, Swayman was going to ask for more money. You now just told him he's the guy. He's the only option. And then you want to be like, but we don't want to actually give you what you want. He just played out of his fucking mind for the entirety of the playoffs. He was the only reason we even had a chance in any of those games. And you want to now play hardball with him. Give him what he wants. It's really not that much at the end of the day. It's the same contract that Saros just got. Is Jeremy Swayman a better option than Saros? In my humble opinion, he is.
He is.
Give him the money.
I don't understand. So, there's in football, it's the quarterback. In basketball, it's usually your point guard. You need someone that can handle the primary responsibility. And in the NHL, it's always the goalie. People talk about centerman, but if you don't have a goalie, forget it. Game over.
Look at the playoffs. What happens to the team with the hot goalie? They fucking win.
They win. It's how Binnington went on his run. It's how the Blues won the Cup.
The Bruins had no business beating the Florida Panthers. Let's be real. They really didn't. And they were about to just because of Swayman. If it wasn't for some cheap little redirect goal.
Yeah, it was close. It was that close. Sign the man.
Give him his money.
Yeah.
Pay him.
I don't have any F1 news, but Singapore is this week. So
Baku was fun.
Baku is always fun.
Well, the crash on the last lap between Perez and Sainz.
Whose fault is that?
Perez.
It's Checo's fault.
Yeah, 100%.
So if you were to ask Twitter, it is everyone with a Mexican flag thinks it's Carlos's fault, and everyone with a Ferrari logo as their thing thinks that it's Sainz's fault.
It's Checo's 100% without a doubt.
So I watched.
He had no line there. Where were you going to go?
And the road, for those that don't know, the road narrows because it's a street race. They came out of the turn, and my argument will always be that Carlos is fully in front, fully in front. So that means
this was also after Checo lost position, trying to battle with Leclerc, and ran out of room and had to drop back. And then he did the exact same thing again with Sainz. There was nowhere to go.
Too close to the back wheel, and the wheels touched. And when they did, it was like an instant lock and smash into the wall.
It was one of those Perez hit the back end of Sainz, and then Sainz just absolutely blocked them, pinned them both into the wall.
Had no way. I don't think he had any control over that car.
Zero.
It was gone. It was gone. And then Checo.
You'll see that in NASCAR too, when people are trying to get a little edge on the outside, and then they touch the back, and it's just instantly right into the wall. Yeah.
I saw. If you listen to the radios after the Checo radio is nothing but swear words about Carlos. What is he doing? He's an idiot. And the Carlos radio is, what happened? What happened? He's like, I don't understand. He didn't understand anything that went on. It was phenomenal. Singapore this week, another street race. Under the lights. Love night race.
Always fun.
Love a night race. The visuals of the night race are phenomenal.
Singapore especially is always really good.
Yeah, it'll be a good time.
It looks like an important race every time.
Yeah, it'll be fun.
About those night races.
It'll be a good time. So look for that in the newsletter because
bangers. Armchair's putting out bangers.
I give you the information. You do with it what you want.
If you want to wake up early enough to place those bets, that's on you.
You do it the day before.
100%.
Those odds don't change enough. All right. You want to get into some football? We talk some Patriots for a bit.
Let's do it. Let's talk Patriots and how open our wide receivers have been.
The Patriots wide receivers have been open, and Jacoby Brissett doesn't know where they are. Unless your name is Hunter Henry. God, I love that guy.
There's
finally using him.
Finally, he's been fantastic. He was incredible last week. He had like 90 yards in the first half. He was the only person Jacoby Brissett was throwing the ball to.
He's also my dynasty tight end, so
fire. Weren't expecting those points, were you?
Free win.
Jacoby Brissett also, like you said, he's not seeing them. I think he is. I think he's just not throwing the ball. There have been several times where you can see him see it. Like his helmet kind of perks up. He looks like he's going to dial it back, and then the feet start to go. He rolls out and ends up throwing it away to avoid a sack. I like Jacoby Brissett. He's the perfect quarterback to have in front of a rookie like this, where he's not too good, where you're never going to see him. Drake May could 100% overtake him, but he also is a consummate professional. He doesn't turn the ball over. He makes smart decisions. He's just a great mentor, role model for a young quarterback like Drake May.
If that field goal isn't blocked, do the Patriots win that game?
I want to say yes, but how easily we let up that 75-yard drive in overtime makes me not think. It makes me think we weren't going to.
Wouldn't have got to overtime though. They were wiped.
Yeah. Also, two back-to-back drives at the end of the game, 3 and outs.
Didn't help.
No,
we knew they weren't going to be a good team. Nope. They're not a playoff.
They've already heavily overperformed.
Yeah, we're not pretending. We're not oblivious to that. But it is difficult to see a winnable game.
A chance to be Carolina Panther bad.
Yeah, this is
100%. So
yeah, he's not a problem. Never says anything wrong. Posts anything stupid, and that's why he'll always have a job on some team. He is 100% a pro. And he'll go. He's a
consistently the 33rd best quarterback in the league.
He's a lunch pail guy. There. He's going to go to work. He's going to do his job, and he's going to go home, and that's it. I would like him to do just a bit more. Gerard Mayo came out and said he needs to push the ball.
I said it in the newsletter too. It looks like every single play he's terrified he's going to make one mistake, and it's going to be Drake May's season.
We have 3 rookie quarterbacks that have started so far. It's week 2. They've thrown 197 pass attempts. You want to guess how many passing touchdowns they have combined?
The same amount as Drake May.
Yeah, the same amount as Drake May. They have 0. Not a singular rookie touchdown, a passing touchdown as of right now. We're in the 2nd week of the season. Jaden Daniels, I think, ran one in. I think that's it. I think in week 1.
He did.
Yeah.
He did in week 1.
But no passing touchdowns. Jaden Daniels he won his game on field goals alone.
I saw people saying like, "Oh, Jaden Daniels looked good." I didn't see it.
He does. He's got like a 75% completion rate, and he's not turning the ball.
But they're not asking him to do anything.
Yes, we should get into that. Let's we move on a little bit from the Patriots. We'll come back to it.
I think Jaden Daniels is going to be the best quarterback in this class. Him and Drake May, but
he probably will be.
Yeah,
he's better than
the other two. I'm just saying, I haven't seen anything from any of the rookie quarterbacks yet.
Bo Nix is a turnover machine.
That him to throw an interception was absolute guaranteed free money. I hammered that. That and Caleb Williams under on his yards. It was like 215. I was like, that guy had 80 yards last week. What are we talking about?
MVT saying, did you see Caleb Williams not trying to take CJ Stroud's advice? CJ Stroud tried to tell him, don't get hit as much. It's not good for you.
Yeah.
It's not. And he was like, nah. No thanks.
The face he gave while he tried to walk away, and Stroud was like, wait, no, come here. I'm trying to fucking talk to you. And then the face Caleb Williams made just made me hate him just a little bit more.
So I've been trying real hard not to dislike the guy. I like there's a lot of media attention around him. He does things that people like. He paints his nails as if I give a fuck about his painted nail. I don't really care.
Lots to talk about is not a fan of the nail painting.
I'm going to tell you this. There are multiple people who are like masculine dudes that paint their nails. You will not say that to their I'm telling you, you would not say it to their face. Not you.
There's so many guitarists.
So many guitars. It bothers me not one little bit. If he was my quarterback and he was making the plays, yes. all for it.
Some of my favorite people in the world paint their nails.
He's not making the plays. And the second he starts CJ Stroud had
catchers. Shout out Tao.
CJ Stroud had arguably one of the greatest rookie seasons in the last forever. It might be ever for a quarterback. Came in, he beat the 4,000 yard mark, fifth to do it. He really put it on. He had a great season. And when he's trying to tell you, hey, you shouldn't get hit as much, don't be an idiot. And Caleb Williams gives him the look like, I do what I want.
That's a guy who plays Anthony Richardson twice a year.
That's a guy that saw Anthony Richardson go down last year. That's a guy that is like, hey, don't be an idiot. This league isn't like
CJ Stroud watched Thursday Night Football, clearly.
There's no soft hitters. Like you're not going against like the second string college defender or like the lower tier Division I college defender who's not going to get drafted, who can't wait to go work his career in finance but is playing football so he doesn't have to pay for school. Like you're not getting hit by those guys. You're getting hit by the guys that are like, I'm just gonna squat the whole rack. I'll just squat the whole rack. I'll just do it all. Don't change the weights. I'll just take the whole thing. Like those are the guys you're getting hit by. And he's like
Saquon. Look at Saquon. He's not even playing defense.
It's ridiculous to me. I hate it. I hate it for Bears fans who have been waiting for a real life quarterback since Jay Cutler smoking darts on the sidelines.
People didn't appreciate Jay Cutler enough while he was in the league.
He was before his time.
He really was. If he was around right now, people, oh my God.
Jay Cutler was Minshew Mania before Minshew Mania.
Yes, that's a good one.
He was the Minshew Mania.
I like Jay Cutler. Me as a kid was always like, he's better than you think he is. It's bad.
Bears and Texans, well, they were meh. It was a meh game, man. It wasn't that great. He did tell his ex-wife to get a job.
Man of the people.
Shout out Jay Cutler. The most blue collar of blue collar. Bears Texans was miserable. It wasn't a great game to watch.
It wasn't fun. It was not a good watch. Anytime the Bears are wearing those orange jerseys, you're like, this is going to be a nightmare. This game's going to suck.
Started with that Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Played the Colts, and it was like, I think it was awful.
Rex Grossman under center.
Rex Grossman. Oh, future unforgettable Rex Grossman.
Current unforgettable Rex Grossman.
Absolutely miserable game, but Texans do what they had to do.
Yeah. With the better of the two QBs, clearly. I couldn't believe he walked away from him. That shit was crazy. I get it. The like, you're competitive. You just lost the game. I'm not trying to like talk and hug it out right now. Like, I like 100%. That to an extent, but that was like just pouty.
He's got to grow up.
He's bitch activity.
Got to grow up a little bit.
Yeah,
though.
Just a little bit.
Yeah,
just a little bit. The fight on the sidelines at the end, Shahir was ready to take on the entire team. That shit was crazy. The Bears really need to figure it out on offense. Odunza's playing hurt. He was clearly the best player on their offense, and he was playing hurt.
I need more.
The O-line is horrific. I'm not going to act like that's all on Caleb Williams. He has no time. He's running for his life out there. I do think he's running the ball a little bit too much. I think he's quick on the trigger to get out of there, which was a big complaint with Justin Fields too. But, I mean, we got to do something about that O-line.
They need a fix. They need a fix bad.
It's been the same thing for years now, and they keep drafting guys, and they're not hitting.
Wonder why. All right.
And where's DeAndre Swift? Is that a line problem too? Caleb Williams has more rushing yards than anybody on that team right now. They have more punt yards than offensive yards. Remember that whole we're not going to be punting much. Don't worry about it. Tory Taylor's collecting OT checks.
Before you tell your punter you're not going to be punting much, maybe play a game. Maybe play like Maybe just like one like actual regular season this counts NFL game.
Throw
Maybe
for 200 yards and don't turn the ball over one time.
Throw for 150 yards. How about a touchdown? Give me a TD pass.
One TD. It's week 3.
Give me your first TD pass.
The defense bailed them out week 1, and they're like, all right, we'll give you one. But we play CJ Stroud next week.
It's a lot harder.
And like, let's be honest, they held him to 16 points. Stroud didn't turn the ball over, but I don't think they didn't do anything crazy.
No,
Joe Mixon wasn't going crazy like he was in week 1. Like the Bears defense is good. They played a great game. Nico Collins is a dog.
Yeah.
But they put them in a position to win. If Caleb Williams and the offense were able to get some semblance of anything going, they absolutely had a chance to win that game. They still had a chance to win that game. They had a drive with 2 minutes left? Minute and a half?
Yeah, they did. Didn't go anywhere.
Brutal.
All right, where you want to let's touch on Miami and Buffalo before we get into our NFC North rankings.
I'm not talking about the Giants. They have given me nothing to talk about.
Okay, hold on. Well, let's talk about the Giants for 30 seconds. The Giants are wholly unwatchable.
And Malik Neighbors, dog, incredibly good. I can't do it. The rest of that team is terrible. He was out there putting on a one-man show.
They let Saquon walk for nothing. They let him go.
You know what that offense looks like it could need? Saquon Barkley.
You know what? It'd be great in that offense. Saquon Barkley would be great in that offense.
Devin Singletary made a nasty cut to get into the end zone.
Sure.
I just didn't want to completely hate on Devin Singletary, but he's no Saquon Barkley. He's no Saquon Barkley.
Not even.
And that Giants team is
blow it up.
Of anything. Get rid of everything. Restart.
Yeah. Trade Daniel Jones to Miami where they need a quarterback, and he'll.
This is the best time. This is the most anyone's ever going to give up for him.
Yeah, you
might get a 6th
and move on. Jimmy Garoppolo is reinstated. You can trade for that guy.
Yeah, do that.
Do anything, whatever you're doing. Just not what you've been doing. It's bad.
The Dolphins. Do you think they're going to sign Ryan Tannehill? Think we get the reunion?
No. We
Trade
don't want
Daniel Jones to Walmart.
We don't want him.
He can bag groceries. That's about the only use he's going to have.
CFL doesn't want him. Most of those guys, funny story, most NFL players have CFL rights with a team already. So like a team will reserve the rights to like the NFL player.
Where they just if you get like a CFL rights placed on you, you're like, oh fuck, I might be out of here.
No, I'm pretty sure they do it for quite literally like the majority.
It's like an expiration date.
It's the majority of the guys there. It's just first right to negotiate a contract. It's how Ricky Williams came up here when he got that pot suspension. Greatest moments in CFL history. Ricky Williams playing running back for the Toronto Argonauts when he was suspended from the NFL. What a shock that is, right?
Heisman.
Yeah. Let's talk Miami Buffalo.
Yeah, it's RIP Tua.
So Tua's on an IR. They're going to give him the 4 games.
He has no plans to retire.
Minimum. That's dumb. You should plan to retire.
You should be planning
whether it's retire. This year or not. You should be planning that.
You should at least gone. Yeah, I'm gonna take some time to assess some things, talk to my family, mull it over, heal up a little bit, and I'll get back to you.
Let me see.
But the fact that he came out immediately, he's not even healed yet. He's still concussed at the moment, and he was like, "Yeah, I'm not going anywhere." By the way. You probably should think about it. Take a vacation.
He sacrifices $124 million, but he's got some guarantee on there as well. As you're acting like he doesn't have a. First of all, you're telling me no studio would hire him. Like
that's exactly what I was just gonna say. You're telling me he can't make Tom Brady. I know Tua and Tom Brady in the same sentence is gross. Trust me, I know that. But Tom Brady just got $300 million to commentate a game, and he's never even done it before. He's a great speaker. He's like, put him in Hawaii, put him at Alabama, anywhere. You could do just SEC shit. He's gonna make $1 bajillion doing any bit of media. The fact that he's not even like considering it is crazy to me. You've had how many concussions? You had 2 horrible ones where your brain went into complete self-defense mode in less than a calendar year.
He'll get $43 million of his money. And while $43 million doesn't sound like a lot when you're talking about 212 or whatever the ridiculous total is, I still think it's enough to, like, he could easily go in, and I'm sure the networks would take care of him. I'm sure the league and the team would take care of him. This is not an instance where you would see the league being like, yeah, we're gonna really go aggressively after this money with all the concussion bullshit that's going on. I feel like this is an optimal time to be like, no, we take care of our players. Look, we're letting them keep the guarantee for this year, and like we're gonna excuse Miami Summit. Like the league could do
Jim
a lot.
Irsay was like, you can keep it. I put you through enough. When Andrew Luck retired.
It strikes me as odd that he's not there. Apparently he's getting some second and third opinions, and I think that's good. I'm not a doctor. I don't know what's going on. I had my head bumped a whole bunch. I know that it's not great. You shouldn't get more than one of those, and he's had like 3 or 4 now. So, like since college, it's just too much. It's a lot, man.
Reported.
It's
for sure he's had. It's definitely more.
It's not a good situation, and I think that he needs to. I hope that he really evaluates it for his sake.
100%.
On the field,
it's not even like he got cleaned out. Like he didn't get Antonio Brown. Like he put his own head down into harm's way. Damar Hamlin literally tried to like pull off of the tackle, and that was enough to do it. What if he takes some crazy hit where he's blindsided and trying to throw a pass and he doesn't see it? Like
he had the one that was ruled a back injury. Remember that one? Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. I totally forgot about that. Yeah. That's right.
I look at it exactly like that, Dubs, where it's like it wasn't like he got like helmet to helmet, like
right. It wasn't
shot across the brow. Like it wasn't like someone didn't come across there trying to kill the guy. He ran into Damar Hamlin, and it's like, shit, concussed.
Yeah, I'm not out there taking the hits. Like, I'm sure it was incredibly painful.
Of course it was.
In terms of NFL hits, that was nothing.
No, it was pretty minimal for what he could have suffered. I hope he gets better. That was
enough to do it. Like, if it were me, that'd be enough to. I'm good. I'm gonna go.
What do they?
Microphone.
What do they do now? Because they're out of quarterback, and Skylar Thompson is not it.
Skylar Thompson's not it. They just signed Tyler Huntley off the practice squad. That ain't it. I would start looking at potential trade options, quarterbacks that are sitting behind. Fucking what's Jarrett Stidham doing? I don't think Jarrett Stidham's the answer either, but
no.
I know he was pissed about not starting in Denver.
So
do you call the Steelers about one of those two?
Welch, I was in the same. I couldn't believe that he led that way. When I watched it, I was like, "What are you doing?"
It was the first words out of my mouth. It was like, "How slide? What are we doing? Slide."
Bryce Young won't. They're not gonna. The Panthers aren't gonna let Bryce Young go. John, get out of here. I'll tell you who is available that you could go get is Jimmy Garoppolo. That's the guy.
Ryan Tannehill, Miami reunion.
Tannehill's available. Garoppolo's available. You could probably get Daniel Jones for nothing. I mean, look,
the image of Carson Wentz in Miami would be hilarious.
The Red Rocket starting this week is amazing to me. Carolina benched Bryce, so like they're not letting him go. Apparently, there was someone asked Joe Flacco.
Go get Flacco. I love that.
Do any of those? It's for at minimum if everything is good.
Flacco with Tyreek Hill and Waddle sounds like it should be at least serviceable.
I look at that and I go, no, Tannehill and Jimmy G that's because they make the most sense. Tannehill's free and Jimmy G will be fairly inexpensive. I don't think it'll be expensive.
If I had to put money on it, I think I would go with Garoppolo. I think that's probably who they'll end up with.
It'll make it makes the most sense.
Yeah,
now
100%.
you want the fantasy advice, Welch. Welch was busting my balls because I lost 2 games in the ESPN league. For the house, to be fair, Welch, let me look at who they're playing. I like the Seattle D, but if the Raiders have a gimme, it might. No, the Raiders have the Panthers, don't they? If the Raiders have the Panthers, take the Raiders.
The Raiders they're playing the Panthers.
Yeah, take the Raiders. Don't question that.
I am staying away from it in the survivor pools. Everyone was like, "Oh, how do you feel about the Raiders?" I'm like, I'm good. I don't want to. Who knows? The NFL gods work in mysterious ways. Andy Dalton could come in and just throw for like 300 yards.
Yeah. People legit mad about Bryce getting
just to
benched.
Put a nail in the Bryce Young coffin.
I think they could trade him, but they're not gonna. If they're really trying to build around him, they need an offensive line.
They need anything.
They need everything. Everything.
I can't believe they made that trade. They gave up everything they had, all of their future capital to get an undersized quarterback
let's talk about
nothing left on the roster.
Some of what they gave up because Sam Darnold is having a year. And you're telling me that we couldn't have gotten we couldn't have had a team with CMC and Moore and Darnold throwing darts and like a real offensive line, and then any one of those wide receivers, those high-end wide receivers that we've seen drafted. You're telling me you couldn't have gotten any of that, and instead, what do we have? Bryce Young throwing to Adam Thielen?
Fill in the blank. Xavier Leggett had no targets.
0 targets.
Do they still have Terrace Marshall? Because he stuck around for way too long. There's another one I'm forgetting. Jonathan Mingo. Since Baker and Sam Darnold have left Carolina, they have 46 touchdowns and 14 picks combined.
Baker's on one. Baker is on one right now. All right, let's touch on Vikings. We can touch on the Niners in a little bit. It's not in our purview, but we'll do it anyway because you asked. Vikings are hot as hell.
Yeah, they've been killing it.
I gotta add,
fantastic.
Our unofficial
throw to Justin Jefferson. Woo!
Jefferson, number 1 receiver in the league.
Yeah, I don't think it's much of a question.
Don't tell that to Cowboys fans.
I think CD's it's like 4.
3. Nah, he's not
4.
He's 3.
He's 3.
I think CD's 3. I think Jamar is better, but Jamar doesn't get the numbers.
I was going back and forth between him and Tyreek Hill.
Tyreek Hill. So everybody loves Tyreek Hill. He's just fast.
Getting older.
Tyreek Hill's just fast. Christian Gonzalez held him to a 0. Goose. Put the clamps on him. That's what he does.
Another week, another Christian Gonzalez graphic.
Yeah.
Although he did, I'm not going to say he was perfect because they had that miscommunication.
No, that was a blown coverage.
Yeah.
Real bad.
Both of them thought the other one was going deep with DK, and then they were both standing short like, fuck.
Yeah, that's not the guy
pointing at each other.
You
were going back.
Panthers the number 1 team in this division, right? Or not the Vikings are the number 1 team in this division.
I was like, in what? Like Pop Warner?
Yeah.
Fucking Panthers?
Yeah. Vikings are the number 1 team in that division right now.
I mean, by record wise.
No, I mean by talent wise.
I think Detroit's better.
I disagree.
You don't?
I don't. I was on the bandwagon. I was fully ready to invest in Motor City Madness for a full year. And then they played the stupidest game plan on planet Earth.
They do
against
shit
against the Buccaneers team where they could have won 13 different times, and every time they're like, "Man, we're just going to do something dumb instead." They're out coaching themselves.
They're
out coaching themselves. I know they faked a punt. Like
That shit was wild. I couldn't believe they went for that. I don't care if you get that. That was dumb.
the nuts on Campbell they're enormous, but he's also an idiot, and he needs to quit it. He needs to get down to like take the points when you can take the points, and like when it's third and short, maybe like give it to the guy who's real good at running, and not try to throw like an out route to Laporta who's been blanketed, or any number of things. This year, Sam Laporta
also very clearly not close to 100%.
No. Sam Laporta has been blanketed. Teams are like, oh yeah, we know that guy's coming.
Okay, we got it.
And they have done nothing to alleviate that. They are not getting him open. They are not game planning for it. They're just like, oh, he's covered now. That's too bad.
I guess
Jameson Williams is a thing now. It's not a thing. If you had the choice between Laporta or Williams, it's like it's not Jamo. That's not who I'm taking. It's pretty bad. So I have Detroit as our number 2 in that division.
I still have them at the 1. I can't. The Vikings don't have enough for me to put them as number 1.
That defense is good. The defense is good.
I don't think it's over Welch. Yeah, I think he's just hurt. He clearly has a knee issue right now. Every time he's gotten hit low, he's immediately limping. He goes to the sidelines, and then he's back a couple plays later. But he's definitely not 100%.
You see Cooper
also, Jared Goff has looked like dog shit for back-to-back weeks. The first week, we're like, oh, okay, like they still won. They got it done. Yeah. He looked all right at the end of the game. He's had some bad interceptions already.
You see Cooper Kupp try to go back out, though?
I didn't know. That's funny.
I was watching the Rams and Cards, and he got like his ankle was toast. He's going to be on IR, like totally toast. Yeah. And he was trying to limp back into the play. He couldn't stand on his foot. And he's like, no, I'm gonna go back in. Just let me run this one more fade route. I run one more fade, we'll be fine.
There is no, even if Cooper Kupp was 100%, there was no shot in hell the Rams were winning that game.
And Kyler Murray was on another level.
Marvin Harrison Jr. is a dog.
They're back, baby. Cardinals.
I fucking had a panic bet the other day. I was trying to bet Marvin Harrison to get 2 touchdowns in the game after his first one. I was live betting, and I accidentally put Harrison to score the next touchdown. So I was trying to go quick, get it out as quickly as possible. I was like, fuck, I botched that. I wasn't even looking at the odds. And then I ended up hitting it.
Yeah, it cashed.
They cashed. Thank God it cashed.
That's I think the Packers are the Packers are the 3 here, are they not?
Agreed. They still found a way to win with Malik.
Hey, shout out Malik Willis.
Look at that. He did enough. He never, no time where you like, oh, he looks comfortable out there. He looked panicked the entire time, but he was like 6 for 8 against the blitz with like 80 yards and a touchdown. He made some good plays on his legs. Like,
pretty sure that was his first touchdown pass.
It was his first touchdown pass.
More touchdown passes than the rest of the rookies.
That game was an indictment on the Colts, and it also showed how good that Packers team is outside of the quarterback position. Everybody was fantastic. The run game was great. The young receivers were good, helping Willis out. The O-line was fantastic. The defense was a blanket all day long. They had 3 turnovers on Anthony Richardson.
100%.
They only gave up that touchdown at the end in garbage time.
So to answer your question, Welch, was it Willis or was it the Colts? Was this like a Packers win or a Colts choke job?
It was more of a Colts choke job.
I think so. I don't think AR is that. AR was always raw. He was going to be a 3-year project from jump. Because he was nothing but talent. He wasn't he wasn't the established guy out of those guys that were picked. It was like a definite reach, and it was absolutely if we give him some time and we teach him, he can do the things. But he's got like the raw talent, and they haven't done anything to make it better for him. Plus, he was hurt. That didn't help. I think that this was more the Colts than it was the Packers.
Agreed.
But the Packers team still held up. So as a unit, they held up.
Right. It was more of an indictment on the Colts, but the Packers played a damn near perfect game outside of, the obvious hole at quarterback. And they still only won by 6 points. And they never really were like, oh, Packers look good today. Like,
that's the kind of
they
game
just
you need when
kept
your quarterback
bailing
goes
each
down,
other
though,
out,
right?
100%, and they got the job done. But if the Colts had any modicum of production, then
It was a different game.
It was going to be cooked. Yeah. They didn't think they were going to win that game. Again, they went out and played perfectly outside of the couple mistakes, and
Bears probably would have won that game. The Bears defense is better.
Yeah, Chicago wins that game.
Yeah.
Every other team in the division wins that game. The Colts were bad.
Yeah. Packers could be the 2 in this division.
I think they're closer to the Vikings than the Vikings are to the Lions.
I think you're selling the Vikings defense currently short.
I think you're crazy for putting them at 1. Their defense was great. Brian Flores schemed a hell of a game. Kevin O'Connell. The Vikings are incredibly well coached.
They don't do the stupid shit that Dan Campbell does.
They don't.
That's the difference. Talent-wise, you're giving me Amon-Ra versus Jefferson. I'll give you that Amon-Ra is great when he's on, but like Jefferson's clearly the better guy. Detroit has the edge at running back. Defense, Hutch is incredible, but like that's the one guy. That's the one guy. Like their defense is solid. Their defense is solid, but like the coaching mistakes are going to cost this team where the players would not be responsible. I don't think it's a player. I don't think it's a personnel issue. This is not like it's a rare instance where I think that the team that's assembled is good enough to win a Super Bowl, but the coaching team that's behind them on defense in particular, and some of the stuff that Ben Johnson isn't calling is not good. It's not good enough. It needs to be better. Like the situational shit, the shit that really needs you to like dig in and like play the game that way.
That possession before the half was unacceptable.
That's the shit that the Vikings don't do. The Vikings will do that in the playoff.
I was talking about this on talk about last night with all the Eagles fans that were bombarding me for the first half hour of the show. Yep. Shout out to those guys. The Eagles are like the anti-Vikings, where they have all of the talent in the world and then they get absolutely screwed by terrible coaching decisions. The Vikings have a bunch of, they have great star players on that team.
They do,
for lack of better terms. They have a bunch of guys.
Yeah.
And they have incredible coaching. And look at the difference between those two teams so far.
Coaching matters in this league. It does matter in this league. And when you're at that level, it matters a lot. Mm-hmm. And that's why I have them up there.
NFL games are too close. There's little things are going to make the difference between wins and losses, and coaching is.
Will I consider flipping it if the Vikings come out and lay an egg? Yeah, I would. But like Darnold's been better than replacement level, to use baseball terms. He's been better than what Malik Willis gave the Packers. Like you were looking for Darnold to come in and be serviceable, and he's been starter quality or better. Statistically, top 10 in the league.
Yeah.
Right? Like Derek Carr and like Baker Mayfield, LOL, are like running away with it. But like he's up there. And yeah, of course he has Jefferson, and that helps a lot. But like you gotta win the game. You gotta go out and play the games. And they do. He does. He goes out and plays. The defense does their job. They're not double doinking or triple doinking kicks. They're not doing the things that they used to do. And I wonder if this is just like a really well coached, good system team.
They're definitely better than I gave them credit for at the start of the season.
Give me that all day instead of whatever Detroit. Detroit will be fun to watch, but they're going to be infuriating. Some of those losses are going to be entirely avoidable, and they're not going to avoid them. This is an avoidable loss. They could have won this game.
100%. The Bucks weren't anything special. I don't think they played crazy good.
They're not.
No,
They didn't. It was ugly. Real ugly. All right. I mean, that's where I'm at with my ranking. I don't know if you got anything else you want to add to it.
I got Lions, Vikings, Packers, Bears. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah.
Patriots tomorrow night. We got Pats, Jets tomorrow.
Ooh. Carr and Darnold in your high-end league this season. That's nice.
Oh, there we go.
That's a nice little touch.
I'm only in one season-long league this year. The rest are dynasty. And my one season-long league, I had Tua and Tyreek Hill. So it is currently Derek Carr season because everyone else has not touched him yet. But I hate Derek Carr more than anybody else. And as soon as he starts to he's doing good enough that I picked him up on my fantasy team. So now he's going to stop. He's going to shoot himself in the foot. I told you.
I have 2 leagues. I have the Armchair League, which is a dynasty league that's a cheap buy-in, and then I have a big money league that I play in that I've been in for a couple of years. And
I was the high scorer in that Armchair League for 7 weeks last year.
My quarterbacks are Derek Carr, Jaden Daniels, Matthew Stafford, and unfortunately Daniel Jones, who I can drop at this point.
Yeah, there's no use having a roster spot with Daniel Jones in it.
I'm not worried about it. I also have Justin Jefferson in that league, so
I play Hoffman in that league this week.
2-0. All right, baby. Let's what we got anything else here? We want to talk 49ers curse here, as Welch mentioned.
Yeah, they can't stay healthy. That last year was their year. That was their window. Everyone was, I won't say everyone, but they were the most healthy they'd been with this core, and they still couldn't get it done. And now this is the football gods telling you missed it. Hey, just so you know, you missed it.
It's brutal. That's football, though. You never know who's going to be healthy or not. I know it's not a fantasy show, but I'm going to give you guys anyone that's listening, a little bit of advice about fantasy football. Week 2 does not make a championship team.
Nope.
You can be 2-0, you can be 0-2. You can still win the championship, you can still lose the championship. The biggest mistake people make is overreacting to a singular week or 2-week stretch. It's the number one thing that I see everyone goes. The first thing that comes out is look at all the waivers. You got to go claim everyone off waivers. No, you don't. You do if you have a hole. You got a gap to fill the gap. Your quarterback goes down, you should get a quarterback. Your running back goes down, get a running back.
1, 2, 3 guys that are prize possession week 1 waiver claims. Yeah. Outside of that, people are just guessing.
It's filler spots. You need them. Did I pick up Kareem Hunt? Hell yes, I did.
Carson Steele was everywhere. He was
Carson
the number
Steele
1.
Got picked up. He's the number 1 waiver pickup.
He's the number 1 waiver pickup on anytime somebody's on that trending page on Sleeper, you're like, fuck, they're gonna be gone. Everyone's taking them.
Yeah. Robinson was the week before. It's
I actually didn't take Robinson. I took Tyler Johnson.
Smart play.
He had 5 catches in that first week.
People overreact to panic in fantasy, especially after 2 weeks. My strategy has long been, and this is free fantasy advice, you're welcome to it, 4 weeks. 4. To know what your team is worth. If you're playing in a league that's worth its salt, you will have 4 weeks. And then you can start to do things like, I need to trade. I need to actually make a move. I need to look at waivers. The first week is a cluster. You don't know what's going to happen. Everybody's got rust. Second week, you've got usually another round of home openers and other things that are happening. Injuries start piling up, and you start to get a picture of how the league is going to unfold. I think we have an idea of how things are going to go right now. There's some scheduling things that come up later on where you're looking, you go, I see some problem games down the road for this guy. So you start trading those guys way in advance because you got to get the value out of it. But panicking after an 0-2 start. You don't need to worry about that. Jets, Patriots, Thursday night.
Let's
do a quick little.
We're plus 6.5 right now.
It's a lot.
That seems like a lot.
You told me plus 3.5. I believe you.
So they're saying if the Jets went into New England, they'd be 3.5-point favorites right now.
I think the Jets are still. Yeah, I think the Jets are favorites. I think it's
100%. But is it that like?
I think it's a field goal. I don't think it's a touchdown.
Touchdown's a lot.
Patriots haven't been blown out by anybody. What
about that Jets offense makes you think that they're going to blow us out?
It's Aaron Rodgers.
Aaron Rodgers is going to have a tough time with Keon White. Dog. Under all day, Welch. Patriots unders all day long.
That's free money.
Free money. They couldn't put it low enough last week.
Totally fine with that. I have no issue with that. 6.5 is a lot. It's a lot of points.
I hit the Patriots under in like 6 different ways last week. It was live. I was like, I'll put a little bit more on that. I'll throw it in a parlay. Fuck it.
Keon White is a problem. Rodgers is not. So Rodgers is not mobile. He's not a mobile quarterback. He's not running around.
Keon White has 4 sacks, 8 pressures, and 11 tackles in 2 weeks, and he's only playing like half of the defensive snaps right now.
And the other big question I have is the Jets' run defense has been awful.
Abysmal.
And they're going against Mondre, so.
Who's been a monster so far.
Also, shout out Gibson.
Gibson looked great last week. He's going to end up having a massive fumble that's going to cost us big time, and we'll all hate him. Yeah. But he looked great last week. This is the Antonio Gibson circle.
Are we picking up Gibson this week? Are you playing Gibson anywhere?
I doubt it. I'm pretty all right at running back right now.
Might be a DFS play.
Yeah, DFS. I like him.
That might be a sneaky captain pick. We'll see.
I have a gross weekly like Thursday through Monday one that I hate, but I still do it every week. So it's all people I know. But it's that I might throw him in there.
Yeah. Look, I got nothing else. We got to do a Stone story.
Can we talk Angels White Sox Tank Bowl?
Oh, Tank Bowl. Yes, we could talk Tank Bowl.
Tank Bowls are Brewers clinched, by the way.
Brewers clinched. Congrats to the Brewers. We still got some other. Shohei's on his way to 50-50. He's got 49 stolen bags now. As
Yankees are furthering the gap on Taos Orioles.
MVT, what's going on?
You're welcome for that.
And yeah, Tank Bowl. Angels and White Sox.
Angels and White Sox just concluded a 3-game series. White Sox won the first, Angels won the second, and they just went to the bottom of the 13th for an Angels win to conclude the series. They play each other 3 more times before the end of the season. We just finished up the first half of the Tank Bowl. We got the back half to go. I think the White Sox have to go play the Padres in between.
I think so. Yeah,
I think that's right. But they're closing in. They're closing in on the record. They have 117 losses right now.
They're so
it's on the table. It's on the table.
So the Angels are in danger of having the most losses in their history.
In franchise's history, yes. They're having their worst season as a team, and the White Sox are having the worst season in history. And at the time when they had 12 games left and 13 games left, the White Sox needed 7 wins to avoid having the most losses. The Angels needed 7 wins to avoid having the most losses in franchise history. And they played six games against each other in 2 weeks to close out the year. Love that.
Tank Bowl.
Poetic.
Baby.
Tank Bowl. Everybody loves a Tank Bowl.
Germany
is going to get their first taste of a Tank Bowl. The Panthers and Giants head their way.
Awful.
Awful.
Whatever the number is, just less.
It's going to be nice knowing that I can sleep in soundly that morning, not having to wake up to watch that fucking disaster.
Yeah.
Those I hate the London games. Sidebar, although it's shit. It's just I like having football in the morning, but can we start it at like 10:30?
Do you know what I really liked? I liked Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday football. That was great.
Yeah, that was fantastic. More of that.
Give me that. Why can't we
All
have
day.
that?
We have Monday, then I spend all week looking forward to this show, and then I'm like, all right, now it's just Thursday night football, and then we can hit the weekend. But if I had Friday and Saturday NFL football, I'll take college football. But
we'll take it. But
I'm from the Northeast. I'm not invested like the
SEC.
are. Yeah, I still don't have anybody to root for. BC's fun right now. Bill O'Brien and Thomas Castellanos got the bandana game this weekend.
Bill O.B. Right, where are we going? Where are we going for Stone Stories, buddy?
New York.
Queens. Queens, all right.
Queens. Police released photos Tuesday of a couple, including a woman all decked out in pink. I cannot stress that enough. Shower cap, bag, everything. Everything pink. Same color. They snuck into an empty subway train in Queens. Attempted to take it for a joyride. Not my first choice of vehicle to steal. You can only go so many places. They're going to catch you.
It's on a track.
Am I wrong?
It's on a track. It's back or forth.
Sidebar. Sorry. Have I told you about the train safety guy at my that came to my school? Oh my God. A1 story. You can maybe get that in after. But don't steal a train. You can only go so many places with it. They crashed it into a parked train further down on the tracks because, again, they don't leave the tracks. However many are on there, they're going to be there. That's why you have all the stops, and they have to time it out. You can't just rip the train down the track. You're going to hit another one. And I'm no conductor, clearly, but I don't know what. Are trains easy to drive? Can you just?
I don't think so.
I don't think so either.
I think people think they are.
I've seen the front of one. There's a lot of buttons and switches and levers and shit.
I think people just think it's like one of these, like just push it forward.
I feel like it's somewhere in between a car and a plane. Difficulty.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah.
This botched heist happened shortly after midnight Thursday. Details about how the pair were able to start the park train and the extent of the damages from the collision were not immediately available. Surveillance footage of the suspect showed a woman dressed in all pink, as I said, and the guy was in a blue tank top, red shorts, and a black backpack. Absolutely insane. You're
not going to train.
Yeah, insane. We had a train safety guy come into my school once. They paid him. We were freshmen. It was like It was like our whole class's thing because, by the time we were seniors, we were the last ones that got to experience this. But we had the entire school in the gymnasium. There's this guy covered in fucking sweat. And he was out to tell us all about how trains are dangerous and we have to be safe around trains. A direct quotes, trains do not swerve. You can't see or hear them coming.
Ghost trains.
It's a train. They're pretty fucking loud and they're pretty fucking large. It's just insane. You could watch like the staff realize like, oh, we fucked up.
This on us.
This is a disaster. Absolutely. I couldn't believe it.
Do you think
I couldn't believe the shame of having an entire gymnasium of high school students just not take you seriously, and you're that into like trains. He said we had to run away at a 45-degree angle because they spray shrapnel like a grenade. Direct quote.
I love this.
It's
do you think
up in front of a bunch of fucking high schoolers?
You think you could land a plane? Have you ever heard that? People always say, I think I could land a plane.
I don't think I could.
So I don't think I could drive a train.
I don't think I could drive a train. If like life or death, I feel like I have a much better chance with the train because I'm at least confined. I'm on a rail.
Yeah. I had my private pilot's license and I don't think I could land a 737.
Yeah.
Like I know how to
Although trains are apex predators. They can be any place, anytime, anywhere.
They are silent killers.
Like a well-coached football
It's
team.
like trains and then cats. It's like they're right there.
It's like
Nonsense.
cancer, heart failure, train attacks.
Train attacks. Never hear about the train attacks.
And it's still to this day, anytime I drive over train tracks, I go, oh, oh no.
Big media doesn't want you to hear about trains.
We have this bridge in our town that we spray paint. All the seniors spray paint every their graduating class, and it stays up for the year. And right on the top of ours, trains don't swerve.
Jesus Christ. All right. On that note, I think it's a perfectly good time to get out of here.
Let's get out of here. I need to make some food.
Dub's got to get some food. It'll be online at some point.
Yes, sir. I'll probably be streaming this weekend.
Definitely look for lots to talk about on Tuesdays on Twitter or X.
Barefoot Bandit.
Don't do that. It's a trap. Welch gives you traps. That's what he does.
Oh, yeah.
It'll be next week. It'll be next week.
Yeah. All right. I'll come back with a full synopsis of the documentary. Yep.
Yeah.
I got you, Welch.
All right. For Dubs, I'm Armchair. We'll see you next week. Appreciate everyone jumping in. Be good. Peace.
Oh, fuck. Tao, you're right. That's on us. We'll get that next week.
Altuve barefoot.